Welcome back to another episode of BEY Listen, the podcast brought to you by BEY Entertainment. Today's episode, like you could see in the title, it's going to be the part 2 of our discussion that we have ongoing with our fellow GameHeads stream team member, Magaso 242 in the house with the boys.
Hold on. Wait. If I point it this way, you point it down?
Nah.
No.
You gotta point
It's
down.
this way?
You gotta point down.
Huh?
You gotta point
Okay,
down.
so now it's pointed at.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool. Hold on, wait. If I want to point at you, which way I gotta point?
I'm
He this
your. No. On my screen, I'm the opposite way that he just pointed.
Oh.
So
Okay.
So to your right, I
point that
think.
way again.
To your right.
So you this way.
Yes.
You this way.
Yes.
And he down here.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Cool. Now I know.
So it's your boy L. I got with me Crash Lion.
I go.
And like I said before, we have our guest for today, Magaso 242. Make sure, before we get started, make sure if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the boys. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think about the ongoing conversation. And if you haven't already, make sure before you watch this, you watch the part 1. Scoot, if you could put it like right around here somewhere like here, they could click and just watch the part
Scoot.
1. That'd be solid.
Fuck it up.
That'd be solid because that could be important because we're talking about gaming through the years, people. We're talking about the evolution of gaming, and how we have seen gaming grow, develop, evolve, progress, and kind of fall short at times throughout our years and years as veteran gamers, I could say. We're varying ranges of hardcore gamers. You have the extreme hardcore, the sweats, you got the medium hardcore, you got the lower hardcore who on and off, you have the casuals. So it's a wide range of players, but I'd say for us generally we on the hardcore spectrum at least. And in last week's episode, we focused a lot on the company side. We talked a lot about the companies and how they have developed, how they have grown, and how they have adapted to the times that we're in. But right now, right now we would more so want to get into the consumer side of things. So what part did we play? What part did the gaming community play in how things have turned out? So to reel it all in, we'll go in a certain order so that the conversation makes sense. What is the current state of gaming? How would you describe the current state of gaming, the gaming industry?
Tough question. Kicking it off with a tough one.
I think it's a fair question because
It's fair, but I mean, you got to think about it a little bit. I mean, at least for me. Go ahead, though.
I think where the current state of gaming is personally, it's in a weird place where, because we touched on this lightly last video, and we was talking about the whole microtransaction thing. We're in this weird place where microtransactions are now becoming like a thing, but people are realizing slowly that not a lot of people are into that, and everyone's aware that the microtransactions are a thing. It's just like the few people, and we call them few, but there's a whole lot of them. The few people who indulge in microtransactions cause us little people who saying like we ain't into all this to like not be heard because they always feeding into the thing. And it's like, I always said a long time ago, what I miss in video games is buying a video game and playing it and then finding that there's some things you could unlock in the game. But now we're at this time where you can buy this thing instead of just unlocking it, and I miss having to grind. Yeah, I miss having to grind because I mean anyway, if you remember any Street Fighter game, let's use Street Fighter let's use Super Street Fighter for example. In Super Street Fighter, on console, you had to flip the game with everybody, and to unlock Akuma, you had to flip the game with everybody and get 3 perfects. I think you had to get 3 perfects. Yeah, you had to get 3 perfects. And you had to beat Bison without. I think Bison was one of the people.
You couldn't restart. You had to do the whole thing one shot.
Yeah, you had to do. Yeah, no that's restart. What it is. You had to beat the game with everybody. You have to beat on the last run. You have to beat it with whoever you pick. But on the last run, you couldn't continue. You had to get 3 perfects, and I was like.
By the way, quick plug, because I wasn't there on the first one. Everybody's first gaming moment, we get them in the gaming. Mine definitely was Street Fighter. Them days by doing, L. L no. Them days Street Fighter definitely. Like that do it for me.
So you couldn't even you had to work for the unlockable stuff. But now you don't.
I remember that grind. But see, some could argue that at the same time there are these perks or whatever that you could purchase, there's certain shit that you still have to grind for. You know what I mean? I ain't one of them people, but I just saying, just being fair.
Okay.
But what's dominating the market right now? What shares the highest market percentage or the highest amount of focus in the market? Because you could list off hundreds to thousands of indie games that adhere to the principles that we grew up on with gaming, where it's you pay for it, you have a finished product, and you can work your way through and earn the 100% completion of this game. You have them, so they're still there. So that argument, while it is sound, it doesn't have as much weight because these developers and these companies aren't what's dominating the market. Even though quantity-wise, they're the majority. As far as weight, they really lightweights because it's the industry itself has been somewhat monopolized, and it's 50-50 on the consumers and the companies. Now,
would you say?
Go ahead.
Would you say that the thing that's dominating is like skins and unlockables? Because look at Fortnite.
Hands down.
Look at Fortnite. Fortnite is a game where you can't control who it is you pick unless you buy a skin, and you have that skin. Now, any of y'all could correct me if I'm wrong because I don't play Fortnite, but you have that skin for a limited amount of time, or you own it once you pay for it.
Oh no, you have it. That's as far as I know. Now I haven't touched Fortnite since. Probably 2019, so I don't know what updates may have come.
Regrettably,
but when you purchase it, I
hate to admit it,
you have it locked in.
But I used to play Fortnite when it first come out, so I know for a fact. I definitely I ain't touched that shit in years, like this nigga say, bro. But once you buy that shit, you have it. You got it for good.
Okay, because I was always wondering if that was something like you had for like a limited time, or you.
Oh, that would be even stupider.
You can't, but
that would be even stupider.
You can't be that dumb.
Because I have heard so many stories. Some happened to some friends of mine who are like parents to children, where like their kid got into like their bank card and they knew what was going on and they like bought skins, and like when they checked their accounts, they realized that they have less money than they was actually supposed to have. That's
hilarious. That's hilarious.
It's not hilarious. If you see how much money, like I shouldn't laugh.
No, I can laugh.
But it is funny. I can laugh because if you see how much money they spent, you'll be like, yeah.
No, see now, the parents can't get mad. The parents can't get mad that their online banking ain't tight. Now, why is it so? Why was it so simple for this child to get your card information?
Child can fucking, you know what I mean?
Your child can get your card. Insert the why they have such easy access to your card?
They give the child too much trust.
Like
that's on them. That's on them.
They ain't got no
Look at
parental
them.
locks or nothing, man. You gotta, and why the child feels so liberated to just bounce up and grab that card and make that purchase going into like, man. But that's another discussion. That's another discussion.
They gotta know what's going on.
That's a whole different.
That's a whole different topic.
That happened like last year. I think I covered that in one of my videos.
Yeah.
That made news from one game. That made news from one game. Me and Michael Amagan from GameHeads, not GameHeads,
BSF.
From BESF.
Yeah.
Me and him covered that. We covered that on both TikTok and fucking
That's hilarious. Bro.
YouTube. That was funny.
That's hilarious.
I was like, wow. They're like, oh, this game to scam you and blah. They say that the game was scamming them. I was like, dude, right now your son gone and buy a whole shitload of skins and weapons.
What? He going trigger happy with that?
Yeah. What? That's what they're saying, right? They got too much freedom.
But
what?
Anyway,
skins.
But I think that's what's dominating. Skins and collectibles and like weapons and characters in fighting games, especially. They
definitely. You know what it is? It's characters in fighting games. It's skins. It's like character skins, and it's weapon camos and shit like that. Weapon skins and shit like that. That's the dominating, because you got to be the freshest nigga on the field. You see what I'm saying? You have to. You ain't out here with your perfect KD and your perfect fucking, you said I say that you out here looking like a regular Joe? Hell no. You about to spend that bob and you about to let niggas know who you is. Because when you get their head short at that last kill cap, niggas can see just how fresh you is.
I is the worst person in the world, and I is the worst person in the world because I is the type of dude, like if I play in a fighting game, I don't buy skins. The only thing I'll buy for a video game is something that actually helps me in the game.
And that is why I absolutely love Soul Calibur 6.
I am the dude that'll come. I got you. I am the dude who will be in like the most basic skin that the game come with. And I'll go online and I'll be shooting to base. And they'll be like, who this dude is? And he ain't got no skin. I just be like, Jesus.
The whole time, how long were you just playing Fortnite, babe? For like a year, maybe? It's like a year and some change?
Probably about a year.
Yeah, and some change. Scoot played default skin the entire time, King. This nigga ain't spent a dime on... Like talking about $3-4, this nigga ain't spent a dime, King.
I spent $10 on one battle pass and
I spent at least $10 on Fortnite. I ain't a friend. I spent at least $10, maybe even $15. This nigga ain't spent a dime the whole time. Default. Are you talking? We make it to the last circle, and we winning games, and these niggas like looking like, wait, why does default nigga in the last circle? That's Scoot, boy. That's Scoot. You only know it.
So, go ahead.
I think the highest amount of money I've ever paid for one game was when I was into Warframe. I have to put this out there in case anyone from DE is watching this. In case anyone from DE is watching this, I still in the Warframe. I just waiting for crossplay because there is cross save. Because there's no way I did all that work and spent my $120 on Warframe or on PS4
Say $120
for me to start over. No, not $120. I just spent $20. I only spent $20. That's the highest amount of money. I paid $20.
I never spent a dime on Warframe. I spent money. I played Warframe for a good while.
I paid $20 for like for some platinum. One of my best friends.
Warframe nice though.
It is. It's a really good game. I just ain't starting over from scratch. I ain't starting over from scratch. I will wait until they have cross. Now they say cross save coming out next year. I can wait for it. They bring out the new war.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, cool. Yeah, they bring out the new war. Cool. They even had a demo run with at the last TennoCon with one guy was playing on PS4, on PS5. One guy was playing on his phone.
Wait,
the next dude was playing on the Switch.
You ever play Warframe on the Switch? I just put the aux. You ever play Warframe on the Switch?
I tried playing it on the Switch, but I have a Switch Lite. And that ain't as powerful as the
I prefer the Lite. Because the way I see it is it runs beautifully on the Switch.
Okay, I want to take my Lite though, I taken my light with me to the States because that have to get fixed because of the damn drift. I got drift on it.
You got drift?
Yep, I got drift bad. Like when I
But
turned the game,
I thought drift was a myth. Because I had my Switch for a minute and I never experienced no drift.
when I turn it on, the thing just be moving by itself. So in the opening menu,
I hear you talk about the drift before, but damn, I didn't know.
fuck with that. I'm sorry. I'm like, nope, sorry, I'm out.
I never experienced the drift.
So
be happy.
Before we spin off into too many tangents,
Yeah.
let's bring it back real quick. So we talked about the current state. Now, how do you think we got here? How did we get exactly to this point we're at in gaming, where you have the microtransactions and the purchases of things like skins and cosmetics and characters? How did we get to this point right now, as bad as it is? Because we describe it as this major thing in gaming, this major issue. How did it get this bad?
Go ahead, babe.
Niggas greedy. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's all about the fucking dollar bill. That's all it is. I'm sorry not to be so blunt about it, but that's what it is.
When you say niggas greedy, you mean the consumers or the people who selling the shit?
I talking about the suppliers.
Okay.
They greedy. They want the dollar, and they can stretch it as long as they could.
Now,
and they've been doing it, and it's sad to say, but the consumers keep consuming.
That's an important point. So that's an important point too, because this is a give and take. They give us something, we have to take it.
That's true.
Now
we have to
for this to be so dominant. It would have to be the biggest money draw in all of gaming. It would have to be something so big that they could ignore an entire base of gamers, a whole category and segment of gamers who are blatantly telling them we don't want this, yet they continue to push it out. So realistically, who do you feel is more to blame? Is it the companies for providing these things, or is it the consumers who continue to buy into them and perpetuate these practices?
It is 100% the consumers. It is 100% the consumers' fault. Because I don't understand why they continue to buy. Like, niggas know they getting ripped off, and they still just buy the shit. And that's the same point I was getting to earlier.
Not necessarily though. They're not necessarily getting ripped off.
Well, let me not say ripped off.
They getting ripped off. I think I see his point. They're not getting ripped off because they want it and they don't mind paying for it. But they ain't looking. They ain't looking at the bigger picture that everybody else can't pay for this shit and shouldn't have to pay for this shit. Right. So that's why they do that shit. That's why they do it. Nah, I think the biggest thing that happened in terms of microtransactions for me was when this was back when I had PS4. There's a game called Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and the disc came preloaded with the other characters that you had to pay for. That's insane. They were already on the disc. That's insane.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
They was locked. They was locked, and then they didn't even let you have them. They brought you could buy the disc and you could play the game. And the other characters wasn't out yet. You had to pay the money for them to be unlocked on the disc. And everyone was like, yep.
That's disgusting.
Everyone was like,
what?
Wait a second.
That didn't even make sense.
That
didn't even make sense, bro.
Yeah. So, and the way they found this out was because them people who was do data mining. Some people was playing the game hold on.
And they find it in that core.
Yeah, because then if you're writing an entire new set of characters, right? And you're using and the game is online, the way I think now I could be anyone in the chat and let me not say the chat, the comments could correct me. But the way I think it used to work was if you write an entire game on a disc, you can't add anything to it.
Correct.
Because it's already on a disc.
Correct.
So
Right.
the way it's supposed to work is if you play the game, right, and you play it online, when you go in the online lobby, then the other characters appear in the character select screen. But if you play in like a local game, then you wouldn't be able to see them characters because they're not written on the disc.
Okay.
But because after you paid for the characters, they on the disc, it was like, oh, yeah, I see what's going on.
Yeah, that's great.
And the way I think that it was bad. I was like, oh,
I've never heard of anything like that before in my life. That is
dirty.
The scummiest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That was the scummiest thing Capcom did. I was
that's
like, wow,
dirty. That is dirty.
That was dirty. After that, I was like, fuck it. I will never, ever again in my life. Can't fuck with that. That's why everyone just be like, oh, well, you ain't get this character yet. Why you ain't buy this character? I'm like, no, I good. I can wait till it go on sale so I can get all them one shot, and then I good. I ain't worrying about all that.
One time.
I'll just roll with these people who I playing with right now. I good.
You know what is a good recent example of the same thing? As much as I hate to admit it because I love the game, but it's fighters. $5 fucking for every new character they draw.
Niggas will buy them every time.
Niggas buying it, bro. That's the thing, bro. We ain't like niggas buying it, bro. Don't give a fuck who it is. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what I hate the most too is that they just come up with a whole brand new arc. Super. And the first fucking new character on the roster was who? Fucking Roshi? What are you doing, bro? Use these new characters. They have like a bunch of new universes with a ton of characters, and none of them make it to the game yet.
Topo ain't even in the game yet, eh?
I waiting on him to this day.
Jiren is the only person from the patrol who's actually playable.
And Kefla.
No, but from the patrol. I talking about from the thing.
Oh yeah, from the patrol. Only Jiren. Yep. I waiting on Topo and Dispo, whatever you name.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like about fighting games is, like, especially now because everyone is be hot up to buy these new characters, is, and I only could say this for me because I know how I am with I find one character who I like,
and that's
and
you.
I only play with that.
Good man. I be like,
nah.
Look here. It been Ken.
After I learned,
since 1996. It's been Ken since 1996, and Ken's still going strong.
After I learned the ins and outs of that character, and I feel like I get somewhat good with that person, then I'll explore someone else. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I am. Like it used to be like that ever since I had like PlayStation 1. I'd play a fighting game and like, all right, who I like? I like this person. All right, I can get, like, everyone just be like, why you keep picking that one person?
Because I like them.
I just like the person.
Like, hey, what you want?
Oh, well, that person ain't strong against this. They ain't strong against this person.
Well, fight me then. Yeah, well, fight me then.
Okay.
1v1 then.
Fight me then.
I don't, and that's the thing. I don't care if I lose. But then all these other guys, they'll see this other character and they'll be like, oh, that looks solid. I want that. All right, I can buy that. I'd be like, okay. I'll be buying, like, the only reason now why I'd ever buy like a season pass or something for characters is if someone come by me and they ain't find the character that they play with. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I would buy a season pass. And even then I'd take my time getting that.
I wouldn't even buy that, but it's like, dog, you better learn these stock characters.
You see what I said?
You better learn.
That's
learn these today.
Like you were saying, you don't like buying new characters or whatever. That's why I love Soul Calibur 6, because you can play with whoever the fuck you want. Like you literally, I gotta give it to them. Soul Calibur 6, they do it right. They do it right.
The character customization, it's very
creation
fluid. It It's very
But it is
detailed.
beautiful.
It's very detailed.
It is great.
Now,
It's great. It's great.
while you are locked into the specific fighting styles, they have enough of a variety of fighting styles for
Exactly.
you to
They
still
do.
find something
They do.
enjoyable. So I could
And
agree with
the
that.
the 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 combat is technical enough where you could stick to one character and you have like it's so much shit
Mm-hmm.
you could do with one character, like one
Mm-hmm.
fighting style. Well, at least for the game, it's like a weapon, so it's the whatever weapon you choose.
And then
But
like games that are technical, like how Tekken is, where you have that where there's always
it
that
it
one
like
character in
it
those
like
types of
that though.
games. There's always
Hmm.
that one character I find in those types of games that has like on like he or she would be like a problem because like you if someone was to really sit and learn all their moves, like no one would be able to touch them.
That character exists in every fighting game.
Like I can give you an example. In Soul Calibur, it's Voldo. Voldo has a
Yep.
plethora of
What?
moves. He
Yeah. In
has
this,
a full roster of
bro.
moves for when he's facing forward. He has a full roster of moves. I mean like a full roster of moves for when he's facing backwards. And he has a full roster of moves for when he's on the ground crawling. I'm like, dude, if someone was to really sit in their house and learn how to play with Voldo, like, and learn all these moves, no one would be able to touch this motherfucker. Nobody.
Yeah.
And I say that.
For
I
Soul
say that.
Calibur 6, for Soul Calibur 6, that character is 2B.
Yeah, she's OP.
That character is 2B.
2B is actually broken.
That
2B is really broken.
she is absolutely ridiculous.
She's
Like,
broken.
don't get me wrong, you could beat her, but fuck me, what you gotta go through just to get right? She like that's crazy. Like she like them combo them strings. Nobody else can string like that, bro. It's like I don't know what they're doing with that, but yeah.
It's
I
ridiculous.
like, and the funny thing is, she ain't even bond in tournaments.
What?
So you
No.
you can get your ass cut.
It's gross. It's gross.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's bad. That's really bad. But yeah, I think. But personally, I think that's where we are. Those are the people who are at fault. Like the people who keep buying this stuff. Because when they do that, they feed into it, and then it's like, oh, well, even though we did this thing, people still buying it anyway. So let's just keep doing this thing. Fuck all these other people who saying, oh, well, we don't want it there. Yeah, they ain't paying us no money. We can focus on these people who actually giving it. That's why EA keeps getting away with it. Fucking them people who be playing like football, because I know soccer, they call it football. Soccer, the soccer games, they popular in like the European
Everywhere that ain't the
countries.
US.
Yeah, they popular everywhere else. So it's be like, boy, people just play that and they just be like, boy, why we gotta do it? Why we gotta pay this money just to do? I was like, boy, nah. I can't deal with it, babe. And I just be like, I just try to stay away from games to do that. That's one of the reasons why I like Warframe so much, because
You don't gotta pay for shit.
you don't have to pay for anything. You can earn everything.
You could, yeah.
Mind you,
You could earn
you'll be
everything. It could grind. It could be a grind.
You can grind. You could be
It's a
you
grind
and
that the-
you and RN Jesus could be fucking
You
having.
what?
Y'all got some
I
talks.
hope
Brethren.
You
you
could be like, babe,
commit
listen.
all your prayers to RN Jesus. If not,
I telling you,
got a tough time.
you and RN Jesus got some talks, but you can
I telling you.
actually get everything that you want by grinding on Warframe. You don't have to pay for shit.
That's respectable.
But and that's the thing with what I try to tell people. I just be like, babe, the fun in Warframe is grinding for shit. Like if you just buy it, if you had an endless wallet, right, and you bought everything on Warframe, there's no point in playing Warframe.
Then
no
what?
more.
Then what do you do?
There's no point in playing it no more. I'll be like, oh well, I have this and blah blah blah, and you melting enemies down like it's nothing. It don't feel like you earn anything. It really don't.
Right.
So you might as well don't even fucking play. But the fun is grinding for shit. I'm telling you, that's and
You know
people
what?
just
I have
take
to
away
bring
the
up.
fun.
They have to bring up
I could rebut that too. Because that fun or what we classify as fun could be based on our preferences. It could be based on how we view gaming. Now, I can spin this real quick into a pivot. It's gonna be a slight pivot, but we staying on that same topic. So we talked about how we got here. We talked about how we got to this point. When do y'all think this shift started happening? When do you think you first noticed more companies starting to get into the whole microtransactions and mini purchases and shit like that? Y'all just throw out a random time.
I can't say a time, but I can say like mobile games.
Okay, fair. Crash, what you think?
Like them mobile games.
I agree. Because my memory is kind of shit, so I can't give a specific time. But I do agree with the mobile. They definitely started with the mobile games.
It definitely started.
I agree with that.
It definitely started with mobile. Now I'm gonna give you a general time frame just based on my memory. So I'd say up until about 2014, we didn't have any serious issues with the microtransactions and the mini purchases and in-game currencies. We didn't have issues with them. While they still existed, because these have been around for years, we didn't really see any issues with them yet. But circa 2014, 2015, and I say those years specifically because I remember there was a pivot in gaming around this time. Now, do y'all remember Flappy Bird?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that little game, Flappy Bird?
I also have a question though. Are you considering PC games? Because
I'm considering all games.
That too.
I'm considering all games.
Because now that I think about it, PC games is doing that shit for a while too.
MMOs have always had it's a part of MMOs, so it wasn't really an issue with them. But we're talking about the gaming industry.
Yeah, okay, all right.
But
all right.
Around that 2014, 2015 time, I remember this specifically because this is when Flappy Bird started to blow up. Is it 2013, 2014, sometime around there, and that's when I started playing more mobile games. Right? So this is around the time I probably just get my first smartphone in like 2013, 2014. I had one little slide phone with the fucking keyboard. I was like, but this touchscreen shit don't make no sense. If you drop your phone, you fuck. Now you looking like a dork. Can't press no buttons. So 2013, 2014 was around the time I started playing mobile games. And I remember Flappy Bird and like Temple Run, Subway Surfer. All of these things started to rise to prominence.
I remember them.
They started to rise to prominence around this time. And when those games started to rise to prominence, that's when we started seeing a heavy influx of these mobile games. Because then people saw an open marketing opportunity. Now, initially, it wasn't all about money. They just wanted to get the most popular thing because the most popular thing would get the most downloads, then they could get the most money. So they was just focused on the back end. But
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still about the money. Which ain't nothing wrong with. I just saying, you can't say,
I didn't say it's not all about money. I said their focus wasn't the money. Their focus was the means to getting the money. They weren't focused on how to maximize each dollar. So let me finish that. So,
alright.
Shit, where did it stop? Yeah.
You were saying it's not much about the money, but.
So they weren't too focused on, okay, how do we make as much money as we can from these games? They were focused on how can we make the next hit to be at the top of the app store so that from the downloads and all of these views and this notoriety we can make money. But I feel like for me, that was the teetering point. That's when people started to push, not really toward mobile gaming, but towards mobile gaming practices. And when I say mobile gaming practices, I'm talking about the gacha mechanics. I'm talking about the multiple currencies. I'm talking about the in-app purchases, the in-game purchases, the skins, the collectibles, the colors, the colorways. So around that time, while mobile gaming definitely was a catalyst for it, and I mentioned this in the last episode too, in part 1. When I talked about this already being a thing firmly established in the East, but it didn't make its way over here yet. That push for mobile gaming and the development of these new quick, snap, fast, hurry, download mobile games, that kind of pushed us toward adopting some of those practices. Because when you have a lot of these mobile games starting to be developed, they're going to look to the most successful ones and start to emulate them. So the most successful ones at the time would have been primarily Chinese developed, Korean developed mobile games. Because if you look at their app stores, they blowing the US ones out the water at that time.
Even the JRPGs making to the West App Store, bro. They blowing up. You see what I'm saying? So
Exactly. So shit, I was going on so long I already forget my point. But but no, I just say all that to say Go ahead.
No, you can finish. I don't want to interrupt you no more.
Yeah, I was just saying all that to say I really wish I remembered what my point was. Because I was building up to something and then I was about to slam dunk it and I can't remember what the fuck my point was. But no, so around that 2014, 2015 when it pushed to the mobile games, they started to emulate the Eastern mobile gaming practices, and then companies started to see, hey, you know, we could get in a lot more gamers. They kind of it's almost the Nintendo approach. If you look at it, is evil genius. They said, okay, instead of catering to just the hardcore gamers, instead of just catering to the sweats, we could see how much of these normies and casuals we could bring in and try to get them hooked on it. Like how you would have people logging into Candy Crush and Farmville and all these other things daily just to keep up with the stuff. Then these larger gaming companies, the AAA companies, started coming in. It's like, wait, let's try something like that. Let's give them daily login rewards. You know, let's give them a little in-game currency where they could buy some other stuff, testing the waters. And then when they see that people started to like that, not the hardcore gamers, mind you, because the hardcore gamers were always on the fence, but you had the casuals and the normies starting to come in, starting to make their way, starting to spend money, because their approach to gaming is way different than ours. The normie and the casual approach to gaming is completely different from us. When we play a video game, as someone in the range of hardcore gamers, we look for specific things. We want story, we want mechanics, we want good gameplay, we want decent, somewhat relative graphics, and decent is relative, I said, because you could find really nice 8-bit video games, you could find really shitty 3D video games. So, but you look for a certain aesthetic, you look for these certain things, and you base your judgment of the game on those qualities. When you look at the casual gamers, the normies coming into it now, they only look at, oh, that's fun. Oh yeah, just $2. Let me put in these $2. I could upgrade my farm, or I could add these different rows and this and that to this. So when you have a normie spending $2 every couple days just to refill their energy because they need to fucking get past this level. In no time, in literally a month, they already paid that $60 you as a hardcore gamer would have paid for a full game.
I don't want you to forget your point if you still have one, but I'm gonna ask you a question.
Go ahead.
I can put this to both of y'all. Having said that, you know what just popped into my head? Do y'all think that the reason why that is because us who grew up playing video games and know how to grind for games, like even in the stream that I used to be playing, I'm currently playing Neo. That's a hard as fuck game.
You don't gotta tell us.
But
we play
Neo.
Yeah, but the thing is, for people like us who know how to grind for games, right? You think that do you have an idea on inkling that the reason why these practices are going on is that developers or people who own the game are giving the normal people the illusion that if you pay us this money, you'll win.
I
You
think
know, like they don't want grind for it. They don't want work for it. They just want get the awesome weapon where one chap will kill them quick and then they win. They ain't know what it is to like.
agree.
They ain't know what it is to like fucking dodge and fucking have to
Right,
move out of
listen.
the way and swipe at a certain
Listen.
time and shit like that. You know, they just won't win.
I agree
You know
to
what I'm
that
saying?
to a certain extent, only to a certain extent, because you have games where that is possible. You could buy this super powerful weapon and you could come out the gate, chapter one, fucking killing everything in one hit. But there's also games where they don't give a two shits how much money you got or what's good or with you. You can fucking work hard when you play this game. You see what I'm saying? And that's me. That's me coming from, because I am a hardcore day one fan of From Software. So that means, I used to like I play Demon Souls, I play Dark Souls, I play Dark Souls 2, I play Bloodborne, I play Dark Souls 3, I play Sekiro, and I can't wait for Elden Ring. So all them fucking games, bro, hard as fuck. And you can't pay a fucking dollar to help you, bro. I don't care how much money in the world you have. Once you buy that game,
You in
all
it?
you have, you in that. It's whatever that come with. That's
You
all
in
you
there.
have, bro. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And if you won't finish the game, you
You
can
gotta
finish
work.
the fucking game.
You gotta fucking
But if
work.
you ain't about that life, then you gotta walk away. I telling you, bro.
now
I
the,
know.
hold your hand
the thing with that is that's
I
a specific
fucking love-
genre. That's become
I
its own
understand that.
genre now.
Exactly. I know that. I know that for a fact. But I might be a little biased, like I say. But bro, I love that. I love that challenge of a game too, bro. I don't want to spend. First of all, like, why the fuck if I already pay $60 for your game? Why I want to pay more? I mean, that's just like DLC. I cool with that if I love the game enough to pay for the DLC. I want more. But yeah, bro, I don't have no problem with that level of difficulty, because that's the type of challenge I look for when I play in a game. Like you talking about, like you say, we hardcore gamers. Like we done been through it all, bro. Show me some shit I never seen before, and they definitely is deliver in that category.
While I
Like they
understand where you
can
come from,
scare the shit out of you.
I understand where you come from, and to be fair and total transparency, that's the main reason why I started playing Neo, because I wanted to see what these Souls-like
Neo
games
is a
about.
straight
Masochism.
rip of Dark Souls.
Masochism.
Yeah. So I was
Right.
like, let me see what these games
But
are. Let me not
it's
buy
so
a
serious
Souls
till
game,
it
but
come
let
to
me
the
see.
point where the Souls series coin their own phrase where anything that's even remotely specific to it or similar to it, I should say, is dubbed a Souls like. They made that a thing, bro.
Yeah. So I
Like that's, you know what I mean?
because I
But
like
yeah, bro. Like I say, I
I like
bias
how-
too, so.
I like how games look. Those types of games look, and I saw Elden Ring, and I was like, damn, like I don't like hard
Can't wait
games
for
like
it.
that,
Yeah,
but
wait for
I
it.
love how
Can't
this
wait.
looks, and I would feel so bad if I robbed myself of not
See,
playing this just because I don't
here's
want to
the-
challenge.
right.
So I was like, let me,
But here's
and
the
then
thing.
there's
Have
another
you
one
ever
coming out
played?
named. There's another one coming out named Lies of P. Pinocchio. Lies of
Right?
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
love how
yeah.
I was like,
You
that
see,
looks
that's a
amazing.
Souls like.
I
That
want
is
to
a
play
Souls
that.
like.
I
I
want to
want to play that
So I'm
too.
like,
I
you know
seen
what?
it too. I want to play it too.
I was
seen
like,
it.
you know
Yeah.
what? Fuck it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
play
bro.
Neo, and I'm
But
gonna see
here's
how
the
I
thing.
feel about it.
You ever play any From Software game? Any From
No.
Software game? You ever play?
I ain't played none yet.
That's if Elden Ring is your first, boy, listen to me. You go have a tough fucking time. I can let you know that right out the gate, bro. You can have
'Cause
a
I
hard time, bro.
I consider
You
it
have
Neo
a
my first one.
hard- The Neo don't even come close. Listen to me, because Neo It hard as fuck. Don't get me wrong. I beat Neo 1 and 2. They hard as shit. They hard. But Neo give you way more power than Dark Souls does. Like them burst counters and all them yokai shift and all that fuck. You don't got none of that fuck in Dark Souls, bro. You just got your stats, and your weapon. And your weapon of a weapon art. And that's it. You gotta learn your weapon, and you gotta know the limit of your fucking HP and your stamina. And you gotta fucking work it out. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I think, shit, you got time, babe, because Elden Ring dropping like, what, February? You got time to like brush up on some fucking Souls history, man, some From history, From Soft history.
I see. I watch other people's streams playing it. Like I just follow Max too.
It ain't the same.
Max
it ain't the same.
But no,
I watched Elden Ring gameplay, and it just made me go and play it even more. And now I gotta wait.
And now it's like, but that's what I mean. Those types of games aside, I feel like the normal people, like the normies, like you say, I feel like them people, like the reason why these microtransaction things has come about is because people is give them the illusion, say, listen, if you give us $12.99, we'll give you this and you'll win. Like you ain't got to do all the struggly shit. You'll win the game, right?
Like I said, yeah,
that's what I feel. I know you said.
It's I kind of feel what you're saying there. And I understand your apprehension with it a bit. I don't think it's so much the illusion, while an illusion is a part of it. And I think for some of them, it does give them that illusion of being better than, or being having a better character or better stats, or they feel like they could win more. But at the end of the day, realistically, I think it's more of a status thing than a power thing, because I think it's universally acknowledged now that most microtransactions aren't meant to benefit you. Now you're gonna have differences, like with FGC games, like say fighters, for instance. If you have fighters, some of the characters that you can buy in fighters are blatantly better than the other characters or the star characters that you have. Blatantly. So there are gonna be some advantages, but when it comes to things like Fortnite, when it comes to things like what else popular, PUBG, or any of these other games where skins and colors and colorways and armor sets and cosmetics, these things are meant to give you more of that feeling of exclusivity. It makes you feel above, even though you have yet to prove it. And it goes back to that whole microwave era we talked about last in part 1, where you want that instant gratification, even instead of working for that skin or working for that armor that you have to get to show. Like if you see me in this in a match, you know I got 1,000 bodies on me. You know that because that's what it comes with. Now all you have to do is put up $5.99. And you could have this exclusive fucking skin if you pre-order this shit and get this exclusive day one bonus that's only limited time. So they have it's. I feel like it's gotten to the point where it's beyond just the illusion of being better. I think it's more of the illusion of status, that illusion of being set apart or above the rest, or I'm different from the rest of y'all. I think it's leaning more towards that, and personalization too. Because like I said, a lot of these normies and casuals, they view gaming differently than we do. If they see some cool clothes and shit that they like, especially with the younger kids, the younger demographic, the really, really young ones, I'm talking like sub-20s, they don't really give that much of a fuck. And I say they, I don't mean all, obviously, it's a generalization. But generally what you'll find is they don't give that much of a fuck about like stats and getting better. They just play in as like a social activity or to kill some time. Like, oh, that's cool, let me get that $2.
And to be fresh.
Oh, that's cool, let me fucking, oh, this a nice fit, this weapon could go nice with these over here. So literally it's literally just them saying, oh, I like these things, let me get them. And they don't see it as, boy, I shouldn't be paying this and that and this and that. The game itself is normally free. That's the catch too, and that's what they're getting accustomed to. They're getting accustomed
Mm-hmm.
to the free service that you can pay for to make it 100% yours, to make it 100% customized to your liking. So I think that's kind of what they're banking on now. So it's not they're trying to make the best gaming experience. They're trying to make the most welcoming and addictive experience to keep you there and continuously get you to spend more money.
Yeah. I
Don't
would
that
even go ahead. I can let you go.
don't that come right back to my first point when you first brought this topic up?
What was it?
Was it's all about the money.
Mm,
It's all about that
mm,
dollar bill at the end of the day, and that's what's sad, bro. You know what I mean? But I can't dispute that. That's a whole nother discussion.
yeah. What I will say in terms of fighting games though, like the same way he was talking about the same way oh Jesus, what do you name I guess Crash. But the same way Crash was talking about
Mhm.
um from software games, I'd even go on the defense for fighting games because if a fighting game character comes out and as you said that character would be blatantly better than the other character, it's like yeah, this character is better than my character, but first and foremost, the first thing I would do, you have to understand when you go on. The only people you could be, if you went into fighting games and you bought this character because you think this is if I pick this character, I go win everybody. If you think that's what happened, then the only people you could be able to beat is the other normal people. You only be able to beat everybody else who's be playing online because everybody else who's playing online, what they
They
doing
know the
is
character.
they taking that character and putting him in the lab and they could be like, okay, what all this guy does do? And they just do all his moves and they can see all his frame data and all this other stuff and see, okay, so the character I just play with could stuff this whenever he does that. So that's fine. So when you go up against the dudes, them who actually know how to play the game and like study the game to the point where they know how to stop everything, it don't matter what you could do because they know that okay, yeah, he have armor on this, but after like 2 frames, that armor is gone. So all I got to do is this and think him or whatever. Or whenever he does this move, he's spamming that move a lot, like it can help
So
him.
like
So when he
what
do
you
that,
saying?
it's like whatever, you know.
Right. So what you're saying is basically like even though these characters, these let's say DLC characters, OP or whatever, they can still you can still beat them. You know what I mean? If you know right. And I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. I agree
such thing.
with that 100%.
There's no
I
such
agree with
thing
that.
as a fighting game character that's unbeatable.
That's
Because if there was a
right,
fighting
right,
game character,
right.
if there's a fighting game
Exactly.
character that was unbeatable, that character would not be in the game or be banned from tournament play.
Exactly.
And it's happened a lot. I'd be like,
and that's the same thing I was about to tell you about. Remember I tell you about 2B in Tekken 6?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Ain't banned because I beat him myself. You see what I saying? And the fucking person controlling it is an asshole. So I know if I beat that person controlling the character, alright, I get it. But it was a tough fucking fight.
You know, sometimes can tell when people buy a character just so they could try and see if they could win all the time because they paid money for this character.
But
like
then
when
at
you
the
play it
same time,
online,
you gotta think about it, right? They just pay money for this character, so they about to show out and they about to show off with this character. So you know what I mean? It's a double-edged sword, I guess.
At the same time, you just have to be like, yeah, all right, you pay all this money for this character. Let me see what this guy did. Like whenever a new character in a fighting game comes out and I start playing online, I just be like, oh, finally, let me see someone playing like with this new person. Let me see what this new person is do. And I'll like fight them and I'd be like, okay, I either get my ass cut or I just beat them. But if I get my ass kicked, I use it as a learning experience. I'd be like, all right, so when they do this, I gotta be careful of them to not do this. I gotta take a couple steps back and make sure for whatever.
You learn, you learn, and you like you say, you beat them because they ain't unbeatable.
I'd be like, it's just another character, he ain't unbeatable. Like it's
exactly.
I mean,
and I guess that's how it gets you too, eh?
And that's what I seriously feel that that's one of the things what does get people to be purchasing all these other things. It's like this grand illusion that if you buy this character, you're gonna win the game all of a sudden, or if you buy this weapon, you're gonna win the game. And then it's even to the point where, like, if it's not even a fighting game, it's a game like with like guns, for example. Like you pay for this bazooka, and this bazooka will get you through the level, and it'll get you through maybe 2 more levels, and then when you get to level 4, you be like, this bazooka will be like, yeah, this ain't doing that. Which means you now have to shell out more money for another version of the same bazooka, which stronger, so that you could. And it's like you basically just paying to win.
But see, the reason that this shit is possible is because it's people out here that they could spend the money regardless.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the demographic is, like the fuck. I don't know who these people is, but they spending their money, bro, and they buying it, and that's why this shit could keep happening because they keep buying it. You know what I mean? It's a cycle.
So
it's a sad cycle.
Going off of that, then.
In a sense.
Going off of that, then, how has your relationship with the industry as a whole changed over the years? So when you look back and think about the relationship you had with the gaming industry, how you viewed it, how you looked at the games that were being released, the approach that the developers had, gaming in general, how has that changed over the years to where you're at right now? How has your personal relationship changed? I could start.
I can
start. So
you go first. I can let you go first.
Yeah, you go. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, you go. You go first, Al. Because you know you want to go first.
For me, I always loved games. I just always did. Absolutely loved it. It was just such. To me, it was such an amazing medium of creativity and expression. Because you had TV, you had cartoons and stuff, but those are really passive. You just sit down and experience it. That's cool. You have what else? You could go outside and play. That's cool or whatever. But shit, it's hot as fuck. I'm not trying to. I always into that. So for me, it was just like, okay, so this little thing here, I have a control in my hand. And I basically have a kind of movie that I control in this virtual world or whatever. So I make the decisions, even if everything's preset. I still feel like I choose to kill that Goomba, or I choose to kill these turtles or whatever, and blah, 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 and run in. Or maybe I don't have to jump on the flag this time. I don't really give a fuck. But you're more in control. So that's what I really loved about it. That the full expression and the creativity, because then when you get deeper into it, I started to learn more about the developers. I would like subscribe to gaming magazines and read some of the interviews with the developers and the designers, and you see the kind of passions that they had going into these things. Now when we started to pivot more to these mobile practices, more to the micros, the in-game currencies, all the skins, the collectibles, the cosmetics. When we started shifting into this, I noticed that there was just to me, it was a not just a decline in the quality. It seemed to be a decline in the passion being put into the creations. It's like if your favorite movie director, let's say your favorite director is Scorsese. If Scorsese drops three movies in the next 3 years, one movie each year, and each year the movie is just slightly worse and slightly worse and slightly worse, and then it gets to the point where this is kind of his standard now, that this is just what Scorsese does, then it's just like, it's like I feel personally hurt, because it's like, bro, like, I understand this is going on, but like, what happened to you? But what happened to us? You know? So it's like, what? It's like, what? And then you can't help but feel bad, because in a sense you feel powerless. And when I say you, everything here is referencing me, so I'm talking about myself. So yeah. But you feel powerless because it's just like, bro, I used to love y'all. Like I would throw. those were the days when I was actually comfortable with pre-ordering games. I'm to the point now where pre-ordering doesn't exist in my vocabulary no more. You're not getting a cent from me until I see the project. And this is the person who, boy, I pre-ordered Kingdom Hearts 3 like a year in advance. So this is coming from a person who I genuinely had such a love for the industry and the work that these people did, the creations that they made. I followed them closely, and when you see these things shift for me, it was damaging. It was jarring.
Not to cut you off, right? But I love Kingdom Hearts 3, dog.
I don't.
I can't even front.
I don't.
I know you don't.
At all.
I know this.
At all.
I know this. But I gotta say, bro, I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed my time with Kingdom Hearts 3.
I enjoyed Birth by Sleep more than Kingdom Hearts 3.
I wait way too long for it. Way too goddamn long.
13 years.
Yeah, exactly.
13
That's
years.
Perfect. Yeah,
13 years to be disappointed.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of, but at the end of the day, you know, I definitely was some disappointment there, but at the end of the day, I settled. I did enjoy it. I know. So don't do me like that.
At the end of the day, you settled.
Don't do me like that. I ain't settled, bro.
You did settle.
I did not.
You said it's good enough. You said it's good enough. I played the game just as much as you. You can't look me in my eye and tell me that the mechanics for 3...
Everything cool. I platinum that fucking game, bro. I platinum that. I had the ultimate weapon and everything. I fuck you. I enjoyed my time with Kingdom Hearts 3. And yeah, I settled. You can call it whatever you like. That's what it is. That's what happened.
Alright.
That's what happened.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I'm gonna say. And you touch on one of the main things that I feel on thing. As far as I'm concerned with games right now, one, I have never in my life pre-ordered a single game in my life, and I never will. And the reason why that is because in the past 2 years, especially during this whole COVID thing, when people had time to actually finish their games and bring them out in a good way, games have fallen off. Like, I love the whole Martin Scorsese analogy because it feels like they're the exact same thing. Because fucking Cyberpunk 2077, Outriders, fucking what else? A couple other games came out. I don't play Battlefield, but I heard Battlefield came out and it was garbage. And I was like, dude.
Yeah, but they've been shitting on that for a minute.
I don't know what it is with these developers and not bringing their games out in the maximum capacity it needs to come out in, because it is
because if they can charge more,
it does make you feel so bad. You just be like, babe. And especially the latest one that gone now was that whole thing with GTA, the GTA collection. Oh my god,
absolute trash.
Absolute trash. My god.
But
and then they made it worse because now they took the actual GTA that you could buy separately off of all the stores.
They put them back. They put them back. After niggas made noise, they put the original trilogy back.
Okay, I hope so.
They did. Because niggas made noise. Niggas made noise when they pulled it from the store.
Let me tell you right now.
That's bad though.
Let me tell you right now, I have no idea. And you know what? And you know what has pissed me off? This is what pisses me off. I find myself loving indie games more than AAA
because
titles.
Of the passion.
I can agree with you 100% on that. I agree 100% on that.
There is one game that I love called Axiom Verge.
Oh, okay.
I played that on
okay, yep.
It was so good. I was like, babe, this is like a Metroidvania type. And then ever since I started with that one indie game, I found myself into more indie games. I've been playing.
That's where you start?
Fairs, yeah. I played Fairs. Fairs was great. I think Fairs, Fez.
Oh,
Fairs
okay,
is a great game.
right.
I think everyone. I think everyone who grew up with video games like on Atari or Nintendo should play that game. Everyone who, because the guy who made that game, he had so many small little intricate details about like past shit, like there's a certain area where if you put in the Konami code, something happens. There's a certain level. Yeah, there's so many little hidden shit inside that one little game.
I never played. I had a Vita. I fucking love.
That game is
love the Vita. I never played Fairs.
Fairs is a really good game. It's a
I love my Vita, bro.
It is.
You ever play
dude, I still have
Soul. It's called Soul Sacrifice. You ever play Soul? Oh, wait, yep. There you go.
I still
you
got
ever play Soul Sacrifice?
I heard about it. I never played it.
Wait,
I heard about it. I never got to play it.
Soul Sacrifice Delta. Nigga, that shit is the bomb. That shit's so nice. There's a ton of games on the Vita that dope as shit.
And I think that's the reason why I like having a handheld so much, because the indie developers, like the small indie games, like they feel better in a handheld to me, and I like them.
Some of them.
You know, some of them. But I like that when they bring out their game, they bring it out. They bring out the whole game. They be like, listen. And I love the people who I like the ones who do like Kickstarters for them. I just be like, wait, listen, I can be real with you.
Because they've been working on that shit for some time.
And like, even though Hollow Knight is an indie game. Hollow Knight was indie, and I love that game. I could only describe Hollow Knight as a platforming Souls-like game. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's so. But the
you
ever
story. Speaking of which, you ever play what's it called? Shit. What's it called? Salt and Sanctuary.
Salt and Sanctuary. I played that on Vita too. I played that. That shit was great.
That on PS4 too, bro. Yeah. I mean, shit. It's so much indie games that even on the PS4 too. But the first one that comes to mind is and I'll know about this one too. Is what is it called? Shit. Hellblade.
Senua's Sacrifice.
I love that game. I played that game. And
I remember Eddie made a video on that because he was touching on the mental health aspect of it.
I was touching about that. I had an interview.
Now I can relate. Actually, crazy. But another one is what the fuck I was gonna say? There's another one. Control. Control is nice. Good. Control is great. The next one.
Control is
So it's a lot. It's a lot. Go ahead.
No, Control is my first big game that I streamed when I started streaming. It was my first big game, because everything else I was streaming was like, indie games or like smaller games from smaller developers. But Control is my first big one, and I was like, all right, I love the shit out of Control. Control is another one would have a bunch of hidden shit in it. I love that.
I love a bunch of hidden shit, and this is what I love about Control, right? Because as I play in currently, I know it's late, but I play in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's a lot of little shit that you could, like a lot of little notes that you could read, and they don't mean shit. You know what I mean? They don't, like, let's say out of 100% of the notes that you read, the ones like, like if you really immerse in a game and you read a note, they point you to like some hidden treasure, or you know what I mean, like go face this rogue. They don't mean nothing. Like them shits don't mean nothing, bro. Like out of 100%, at least 40% of the notes you read actually mean anything, bro. So it's like turn you off from even want to read nothing. Like you see a note and you're like, wait, fuck this shit. You see what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I miss. Like come on, like if you can have this mechanic in the game, at least make it mean something, bro. You know what I mean? Make me want to read this shit. You see what I'm saying? So I can figure something out or learn something I know, like some secret law, like or if you fucking, you know what I mean? Like put some meaning into it, bro. But not that's another aspect what I think lost in a lot of games, but not all, because from soft, every fucking item got a detail and it link back to something good. They like them, like they do it good. That's all I can say. From soft do it well. They do it. Like I say, I am biased, but they do it good, bro.
Yeah, but I find myself liking more indie titles than more AAA titles because they actually
I
complete their
agree,
games. They finish their games
but
to
I love
completion.
I do love indie titles. I do. I
And they
absolutely
have
do.
like a bunch of things that keeps you invested into the game, and that's what I love about them. So I find like even there's another Hollow Knight game that's supposed to be coming out named Silk Song. That game has been
I
coming
saw that.
for like
I saw
three,
that.
4 years. And I'm like, I
Yeah,
always say,
all
I'd be
that.
like, listen, I don't
Yes,
care if it
I
takes
just
a
recently
decade
heard about
because
that.
I know when they come out,
Finish
they can
it.
come out
Just
swinging.
finish it. Just finish it.
I'd be like, listen, I
They
don't
coming
care
out
how
swinging
long. I don't care how long it take you all. Listen, I don't care if I old and gray and that game ain't come out yet. You hear me? When it come out, it better come out.
You playing it. You playing
Finish.
it.
I will buy it. I'm pre-ordering shit. I'll buy it when it come out. And that's
That's how I feel.
what I am right now. You will
That's how
never
I
get me to
feel.
pre-order again.
That is
Now,
how
Never in
I
my
feel
life.
about Elden Ring. But it's so serious.
now,
I would pre-order Elden Ring. That's so fucking biased. Them niggas say, I don't know, but I love that shit. I get my ass cut so much times from from every single from soft game. I get my ass cut every single so much, but I love it, bro. I keep going back and I just beat it I beat every one of them, bro. Every From Software game ever dropped, I beat all of them motherfuckers. And you could fucking try me on that, bro. Anybody in the comments, y'all got your run your talk. Nigga, I do that shit. I do that shit and I earn that shit, bro. Cause
Cool.
that hard as fuck. Them
No
shit's
slaw.
hard, bro. No slaw king. You see what I'm saying?
now,
But yeah, bro.
now, for I could shoot the developers some bail, because Eddie, you had mentioned that you had an issue with the developers releasing unfinished products, which is fair. That's definitely fair. But to shoot the developers themselves some bail, because for me, I was upset with the developers at first too. I was upset with them at first too. But when you dive deeper into the politics of how these companies works, especially the larger companies, they're beholden to their stakeholders. So they have a bottom line that they have to meet. They have standards that are set in meetings that none of the devs are privy to. There are meetings that none of the designers, none of the developers are in on. You have the upper management. You have the C-class executives, the CEO, the CFO, the CIO, COO, all of these people. You have these high-tier meetings for these companies where to them, like Crash said, it's all about the dollar. They don't care about the art. The people who care about the art are the artists. There's only two people who care about the art: the artists and the artist fans. We're on the fan side for the artists. The artists are the game developers and the game designers. Those are the people who actually create this stuff. Now, these people were the same ones who were making the games that we loved before. That hasn't changed. What's changed are the directives that they get from their higher ups. Now, when you see a lot of articles talking about crunch culture, right? You see a lot of people talking about crunch culture and a lot of these developers, a lot of these AAA studios nowadays. It's been coming up a lot, predominantly in the past like 5-ish years, I'd say. You see a lot of talks about this crunch culture and devs being forced to stay in and meet ridiculous deadlines. devs aren't making those decisions. The devs aren't the ones saying, I want to stay here 4 months in a row, not see my family for weeks, push out this shit. They're not the ones who make those decisions. The higher ups make those decisions. So there's a hierarchy in these companies. There's a chain of command in these companies. And the devs ain't at the bottom.
Yep.
Obviously, they ain't at the bottom. But they're not at the top. The people at the top are the ones who are they are exclusively worried about that bottom line, meeting that bottom line, and impressing their shareholders to potentially get more money coming in, more investment money coming in. So that point that we're at right now, the point that we're at right now is that because gaming has gotten to this mainstream point, to the point where casuals and normies are just as prevalent in this gaming industry as we are, as the hardcore people are, because you have an equal amount, and actually it's an uneven amount, because that's why they're kind of dominant right now, an uneven amount of these casual gamers, and they realize we can without a doubt get more money per game from these casuals and these normies than the hardcore gamers who are only going to buy the base game, get pissed at us, and then probably skip our next game or two. They recognize, okay, well, devs, put this battle royale mechanic. Our stats show that battle royales have been showing an increase in 24% over the last year. We got this much increased turnover. We predict this much going up over the next 4 years. So our next 3 games have to have this. We have to have this one out by this year, because our stats show that when we release 1 game per year at November, in the middle of whatever going on, we have the best return. So they're just crunching numbers. They don't give a fuck about the art. They don't give a fuck about the development. They don't give a fuck about what the end product is. They just want to meet that bottom line. So when they pass these down to the developers, who, it's been, for most of them, it's been their dream to work at these AAA years ago, working at like a Ubisoft or going to EA or going to any of these major publishing or development companies. It was a dream. Going to Naughty Dog was a dream. But it's becoming more taboo now, because you have this crunch culture coming in where it's all about meeting that bottom line. It's not about creating something innovative or creating something, a new IP, or testing some waters, creating a new system that hasn't been tried before. It's not about that anymore. Now, while you still have people who do that, our love for the indie developers, the trick is those indie developers don't get anywhere near the support that the AAA titles will get. And it's almost a catch-22, because they need money to improve, but for them to really improve, they gotta get money. So it's like they're caught in a cycle, and the people who have the money, since they're already established with that money, they can just reinvest it and keep the cycle going, and they can try these new things and get a lot of the microtransactions and keep the cycle going.
That's where it comes back to. And like I say, it's sad to say, bro. Like I like, as a gamer, as a person, I love this shit. It's sad to say, but it comes back to money, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much we can make.
It's not. That's oversimplifying it, though. That's oversimplifying it. It is about the money.
I understand.
But that's just
but
like
that's all I'm saying. Like, just take that. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I agree 100%. It's oversimplifying, but you gotta put that into the equation. You know what I mean? You have to. And I mean, like, you know, that's how these niggas is eat, just like us.
But here's my thing to this. What I wish that people would actually catch sense with, like the people that who in charge, who you say, I don't know how they wouldn't think that if, instead of putting a deadline on putting out a game that's obviously not finished yet, why don't they just I don't know, like, wait until the game is finished? Because if they bring out a game and the game is unfinished and these people buy it, it has to be a case where, or it has to be getting to a case now where people are buying games and saying, or people are like, it has to be getting to the case where if a person buys a game and they realize that game ain't unfinished, they can tell their other friends, and them friends can tell some other people, and them friends can tell some other people, be like, yeah, don't buy that. It ain't even finished yet. You know, and then they get, and then they can make news, then they can hit Forbes magazine, they can hit Tingam, and then they can make no money.
Even at the current state where we at, it'll be on a YouTube video, and thousands of people can watch that. You know what I mean? Like,
like a bunch of people will cover that shit, and they'll be like, yeah, this game ain't finished. Like Angry Joe will have it, fucking Forbes magazine will have it, each IGN will have it, Review Tech USA will have it. It'll be like, boy, why these people, like, I just be like, boy, stop bringing out these unfinished games, because if the only people you can to try and target is the normies, you ain't gonna get that much money. You can get some money, but you ain't get that much, because especially for a game like, and the biggest egregious offender is that exact same fucking what it name GTA remake, because everybody knows how good GTA was. If they had just waited until they finished the game, things would have been things. And now,
you know who I would put on that list? You know who I would put on that list? Ubisoft, bro. I don't know. And I gotta blame, once again, we have to blame the consumer on this, because these niggas just put out game after game after game full of fucking bugs. I talking about bugs out bro. Every game I playing, like I told you all earlier in the video, as I playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla right now. That shit's so buggy. It almost to the point where it's unplayable. And this ain't the first time I experienced this with a Ubisoft game, because these, like I say, like, I don't know who is green lighting this shit, but it getting out.
Got it out now.
Same thing with Origins. The one, I think Origins was right before this.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
I did love Origins. Yeah, Assassin's Creed. I love that, and it had bugs just like this one. But I guess I might fall in that category as well, right? Because I fucking bought the shit too. But at the same time, I must argue that this one have way more bugs than Odyssey. Or Origins, my bad. Odyssey was before that. I did like that too. Odyssey was good too. Odyssey was great. Buggy, but good. Playable. This one, borderline unplayable.
Okay. So,
like you go to pick up a sword, the game crashes.
Bro, it's so crazy. Let me tell you how serious it is, bro. I have accounts. I even saved some of them. Is this one time I was fighting a boss? Well, not really a boss, it's like a mini boss. It's one of like the assassins who was come to hunt you down. Anyway, it's supposed to be like a mini boss battle. So this nigga jump off his horse, we start fighting or whatever. I get him down like half his HP, and he just fucking broke in mid battle. He just freeze and he just pull his hands to the side, broken. And he was halfway in the ground. So like his feet was in the ground, but I run up to him, I attack him like twice, he didn't do nothing. I back off like nothing. He just is broken in the ground, broken. At that point, I just, you know what I do? I just save and quit. I had enough. Because and I don't even know why. I just feel like because it's on there and I already started, I have to finish it. So that's why. But yeah, bro, it's that serious. The bugs is crazy, but they keep putting them out, bro.
So let me ask this,
and people keep buying.
So let me ask this: have y'all ever worked at a job where there was a certain hierarchy? Let's say you had a manager, and your manager had let's say you had a supervisor, and your supervisor had a manager, or someone above you had someone that they had to report to.
Yeah.
Were you ever instructed to do something that you knew wasn't going to work, or that you, from your experience, knowing your job, knowing your lane, your position in that job, that bro, this y'all, this ain't gonna work, or this ain't gonna work how y'all feel like it will work out, and you try to tell them that, and they just, you know what, let's just do it, and then we could go from there, and blah blah blah. Or they, long story short, they dismiss your rebuttal, or they dismiss any idea of it not working out and tell you to move forward with it. That's happened to everyone, to all of us at some point, right?
I'm sure.
Yes.
But
So
Yes. I
that
get
same
sadly,
way,
yes.
that same way, look at the developers exactly the same, because the developers at the end of the day, if they're not independent, they work under a company, and when they're in that company, they're obligated to do what they're told from the higher ups. So
well, why don't they?
when they are releasing these things, I feel that they're given a deadline, or they're like the head developer or the senior developer is probably brought into the room, and they sit down and they're like, okay, Q4, we're looking for these kind of returns. What date do you think you guys can have the game done? Well, on the track we're at right now, ideally the game could be finished in, let's say, mid-March. We should have it ready to go. All right, well, we were hoping for a Christmas release so we could capitalize on the Black Friday sales and then getting these people in. So we're going to need you to get this done by December 1st or earlier so we can get a December 13th release. And the dev says, I really do. Is it possible at all for us to get this done? They say, I mean, yeah, it's possible. Okay, well, yeah, let's go forward with that. And then we can always come back to it and this. And so I'm just saying, I'm going to shoot the developers some bail, because that relationship that I had growing up, I recognize them as the artists, them as the genuine people.
I know that was coming. I know that was coming because, yeah, right. That in a position you would normally consider. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I know. But like, yeah, though that I never see the, me being the consumer, you wouldn't stop to think about it. The average person, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah,
see, I respect them. I respect
from.
them too much. I still get mad at them for allowing it to happen. But I have to shoot them that bail to be absolutely
I almost thought
fair.
You was in the field. You work in that field. Something you been telling me something. Yeah, what's going on, man?
No. Like I respect the craft. I respect the craft.
Yeah,
I respect the craft. It's like your favorite rapper signed to a label, and you notice that they ain't really spitting no heat like that no more. And it's just boy, what's going on? When you was underground, you was you just dropping bars.
I feel you.
And then when you see they leave the label or they separate from the label and they start to come back, you see, okay, it was the management of the artist that caused these things to happen. So the brand is affected because of the decisions of a few.
So
that's why that's another reason in the games. Pop, go ahead.
I think that's why people who are game developers need to check their morals, I guess, because they'd have to be like, listen, I can be real with you. I want the game come out and y'all want the game come out this early. It ain't gonna be ready. So if y'all trying to push for me to get this game out at this time and I telling y'all it ain't gonna be ready at this time, we have to either do one or two things. I'm gonna have to leave out, or y'all gonna have to listen to the fact that this game is not going to be ready by this time. And I know a lot of people say, it ain't that simple.
Secure down at the door waiting to escort you to your desk.
That's what I said, but they don't be hearing that. So they gotta go as is. Whatever the fuck you got,
bro,
that's what we putting out, bro.
It's literally
that's what's going out.
You help us hit this deadline, or you're gone, and we're gonna replace you with one of the thousands of people who would love to have your position.
You never fucking work in this town again. Never fucking what your name is? Nobody can know your fucking name. Don't matter. Put this fucking game out.
Just do what Hideo Kojima did. He left.
Kojima different. No. Kojima different though. You can't just tell everyone, but just Kojima the wide. Just Kojima the wide. Just Kojima the wide. Just Kojima the wide.
Yes.
Kojima,
bro, everybody in Kojima.
What other developer?
Everybody in Kojima. Everybody is not Kojima. You tripping.
What other developer you could name like that from a
Don't take the wrong message. Don't take the wrong message.
Wait, devs.
Everybody is not that mod.
Devs listening and or watching this right now, don't listen to. Look, if you ain't built just like Kojima, don't try that shit. Stay at your
Don't do
comfortable job and make the money you
Stay in
can
your lane.
until you can
Stay in your
comfortably
lane.
step off and make until you got that bread to do your own little indie company, you and your brethrens, so y'all can make the games at your
Stay in your
garage
lane.
and we can support
Stay
y'all. Cause I ain't gonna
in
lie, I can
your
fucking support the fuck
lane.
out of y'all if y'all, bro. You want me to tell you a market that ain't being tapped, but if these niggas really like not really unionized but come together, it would be nasty. If you have a bunch of developers flake from AAA studios and move into their own kind of like group indie hubs, bro, they would make some of the sickest games
I know where you're
of
going,
this decade.
and I like it.
They would make some of
You're
the
right, you're
sickest
right.
games of this decade. Hands down.
You know what? No, I agree with that. You know why? Because if content creators could do that shit, because there are people who like, all right, you see how TikTok and shit is now out right now, right? You got people who will make content like they'll gather together and live at this house. They have a content
houses
house.
like RDC, like AMP, like all them niggas.
They'll live together and they'll spend like a month or a week or a month just making content for TikTok in this house. And they live together, pay the rent and do whatever they got to do. And you know, some of them is even get sponsored.
Yep.
So if a bunch of developers was to like, hey, let's build a fucking building where the developers from this company is over here, developers from that company is over there, you know, and just have them separate and whatever.
This the X UB wing. This is the X Rockstar wing. This is the X fucking.
Here's what I feel, right? I feel like that's wishful thinking, right?
It is
because it's easy for content creators on that level, not discrediting content creators on that level, but for say gaming companies to come together and do something like that, it's too much heat. You know what I mean? Like they feel like everybody at war with each other. That's how I feel.
Not the companies though. See, the companies warring, the devs ain't warring.
But you can always have people. That's true. You're right about that. But I feel like, you know, it's a bit of a stretch. I don't want to call it a stretch, but you know, for lack of a better word,
it's a bit of a stretch. It's wishful thinking, but the thing is, it's a formula that's been proven to be able to work. Because at the end of the day, all they are is a type of content creator. The content that they make is video games.
That's true. That's true.
And then it'll be to the point where, like, I think if something like that was to happen, personally,
it'll start a wave.
It would change the game of gaming.
It would
change it because now
that's what I'm saying, right? It'll
be like we made this game. Now, whichever one of y'all people want to actually pick this game up, y'all can come get this. But for right now, we selling this game for $20. That, you know,
like I say,
that's
like,
what we
I
do
feel
it,
like that. I feel like that is where the wishful thinking come into play, because that's something we all want to see. But let's be honest. Think about your perfect fucking game. Nobody make that shit. You see what I say? Nobody make that shit yet. And that's equivalent, not joint. So hold on, who make your perfect game, bro?
I wouldn't say that they are perfect games, because every game comes with certain flaws.
I wouldn't. It's okay. I use that term. I use that term loosely.
I get you.
I use that term loosely.
So, for me, my perfect game would be hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, Brave Fence Musashi. That game came out on PlayStation 1. It had excellent story, excellent controls, brilliant voice casting. The animation was PS1 standard, but it was a really good game. Like
that's actually crazy.
That's the first game I streamed. I think that's the
PS1.
Yeah. PS1, yeah. I played on it. I use an emulator. I use an emulator to play it. But I love that game. I love
Yeah.
that game. That's my
You had to.
that's my A1 game. That's my A1. But like I
Wow.
said, now the thing is, I understand where you're coming from because that game came from SquareSoft, but back when it was called SquareSoft, it wasn't
before
Square. It
Enix.
wasn't. It wasn't Square Enix.
Before
Yeah,
Enix.
Enix didn't go
Yep.
bankrupt. Enix didn't go bankrupt, and Square to like, we got you.
Yeah.
Just make some of our shit. That's all.
Yeah, boy.
But that game is game number one for me. I love
That's
that
crazy.
game. It's a game where I know how it goes. I can play that game
if somebody was
over and
like,
over.
if somebody was like, okay, you get trapped on a fucking deserted island, you got fucking one video game you can play.
I have played that.
You can only carry one game. You can play this shit over and over. You can get this one.
I'd play
game.
that. I'd play
That's
that.
the game.
Yep, I'd play that. Hands down.
That's
I would have fun playing
That's
that.
crazy. What would you, Al? What's the game?
I have no clue. I honestly can't say.
You don't know.
No clue.
You know it's fucked up for me? Because it's definitely a FromSoft game. But I don't know which one. I think it would have to be. I think it might be Dark Souls 3. I think that's the one. I could fucking run this shit over and over and over. I don't know.
But
I love that. Yeah, but I love that shit.
I see where you're coming from, Noel. But I agree with that. I know, like y'all say it is wishful thinking. But boy, if that was to happen, boy,
that would change the entire.
That would change. Yeah, but I agree. That would change the game. That shit would be crazy, bro.
That would be on every news station, every magazine, like every developer from every title has left. And they decided to unionize. Oh shit!
You ever see that video where they got the crypt and the blood holding the flag together and they fucking signifying the union? That's could be that whole shit all over again.
Yeah,
real talk, bro. That's a new era. That's a new age. Right now.
So fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And
that's why I say it. Because we want it. That's the only reason I call it wishful thinking. Is because I want it so much. You know what I mean? I feel like everything I ever wanted that much, it never fucking happened. You know what I mean? So
I know about that. I know about that.
I feel strongly if what L tells me is true, because it's the first time I've heard that argument. If what L tells me is true, and I'm sure it is because he explained it very thoroughly. If what else tells me is true, I'm sure there's gonna come a point in time where some of the developers are like sick and tired of them catching heat for having to bring out a game that's not finished. They could be like, listen, I can be real with y'all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or it's like every time we bring out one of these games, we got to figure out who's gonna say the apology video, who's gonna do the apologies on the interviews, who's gonna say what words to say. We're tired of doing that. So you know what? Fuck it, we're leaving. We are leaving this company. We're gonna make our own company or whatever. And then all of a sudden, another developing team starts to do that. Then another one, then another one, then another one. It'll be like,
all you need is one little spot.
All of us will go like, fuck it, this all of us.
Yeah,
and they just fucking pool all their resources together, get all their money together, and be like, listen, we could do this. We could do this way. All we need is a building, and we need a building, and we could have our tools and shit.
But all they need is a good house with nice ass Wi-Fi, a good fucking broadband connection. Hey, and time.
Working kitchen.
If a group of them come together, if they've saved up enough to stave off if they've saved up enough to survive, not just survive like just get by, if they've saved up enough to comfortably survive and work for like a straight 2 years, and you get like a content house with just video game developers and designers and other people involved in the creation process, those initial games, the first one is gonna be rough, but it'll be nice. And then when they follow up after that, if they are able to follow up after that, that second one is gonna be golden. And then from that first one, it's
Right.
going to inspire others to get started. So by the time they come out with their second one, you have 2, 3, 4, 5 game developer houses or game developer in-house games. They could call them whatever the genre is. If y'all call it that, I
It'll
want my
be-
fucking money. If y'all call it that, I
Right,
want
see,
my
Like
money.
you said,
Not-
like you said, it'll be nice and it'll be rough. Most
Right.
importantly, it'll be
It'll
finished.
be finished and it'll be pure.
But
That's
see,
it.
that is exactly my point, right? Not to take anything from what you're saying, because I love every single word of it. But at the same time, isn't that wishful thinking though?
Everything is wishful
Right?
until you make it happen.
Amen to that.
You got me with that one. You got me with that one.
Amen to that shit.
I don't have nothing for that. But you're
Everyone,
right.
everyone who ever moved to LA had wishful thinking.
Mm. Mm. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, we end the stream.
We out.
Wrap it up there.
Here's the funny part. I laugh if any developers watching this video and they watch it.
And they
it's funny.
inspired to just,
We
bro,
can do this shit, you know? I did.
real,
I'd fucking
real.
did.
Yeah.
Niggas sitting there
I
like,
also-
I ain't think about that, you know.
They can.
Like,
do it.
they were so busy at work.
Do it.
They were so busy under crunch that they didn't have time to sit down and think, we could just go do this
Because
ourselves.
niggas in the
Yeah.
air.
You
People
know
in
what?
the
You know
air.
what?
People in the air 24/7, dog. They don't have
You know?
a time to fucking breathe.
If any developer decides to do this shit, I just want 1% of y'all shares. That's it. Just one. Just 1%. I just want
Money.
1%.
And I
When
want
y'all-
1% too. I
You know,
want 1% too.
I want me,
2%
me,
y'all giving
L,
up so far.
and yeah,
3%.
me, L, and Crash.
3%.
Me, L, and Crash get 1%
All
each.
we asking
all.
for.
That's all. If
That's
y'all
all.
get this idea
That's
from us,
it.
I
That's
only
it.
want 1%. That's it. When y'all
Wait,
giving out
if
shares,
I
I
hear
want
this idea, I sew it. You hear it here. Let me hear that. Let me hear any article, any blog, anything.
Oh,
We,
Jesus.
it was said here first. That's all they gotta say.
That'd be crazy though. That
would revolutionize. That would revitalize the industry.
Wait,
Gaming
you
would
could imagine-
definitely pivot then.
And we do that.
You could imagine.
We do that.
You could imagine for like 2 to 3 years, no new video games come out because everybody busy working on their shit.
Just working.
Like I mean,
just
like
working.
well, no, some indie developer
Yeah,
games.
before.
Indie shit could come out. Indie shit could come out.
Indie shit can come out. Yeah, but for like 2 solid years, 2 to 3 solid years,
And the
nothing
thing
come
is,
out fresh.
here's the
Be like,
thing. The thing is, I would be so okay with that if I knew, if we had like direct line of communication with the developers. Like, bro, you know it'd be, oh my god. You know how G4 came back, right?
Yep.
Bro,
I heard about it. Yeah.
G4.
oh my
Like
god.
G4.
So G4, for those who aren't aware, G4 was the channel of channels for nerds. Anyone who loved tech, gaming, comics,
Bro,
all G4 Tech
if
TV
you
was the
play
pinnacle of
game
television.
And you was real about your shit, you know about G4. Alright? G4 was that shit. Them niggas even had magazines. I had the magazine study.
I used to listen
G4.
to their podcast.
By the way, let me this for any OG G4 fonts. Jessica Chobot.
The finest.
That's all I gotta say.
The baddest.
That's all I gotta say.
The
That's
baddest.
all I gotta say.
The baddest.
That's all I gotta say.
Jessica only
Jessica
come on.
Chobot. I fucking
did only
love
come-
her.
Jessica did only come so she could make let people know that there was finer gals. In
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
Wait, she didn't know her shit though.
She's
knew
on her
what she
shit.
was talking
She's on her
about,
shit.
though.
She's on her
She
shit.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Don't discredit my
But
girl.
no. That ain't to discredit her. That ain't to discredit her. That's actually to her credit. Because it's saying,
That's
look,
true.
even
That's
some
true.
fine gals
Yeah.
into this game and shit.
Right, we doing this shit, and she was doing that shit, bro. That's why I love that, bro. Anyway, yeah, Jessica Chobot. Y'all know.
Jessica
If
Chobot.
you don't know, then you know.
But yeah, but
Nigga.
so them coming back and like revitalizing the whole G4 wave and getting back into the swing of things. It's just like, boy, when you set out and just work to do your own shit, if it takes time, it could take time, but your finished product is gonna be so much more valuable to the consumers, and your brand is going to benefit so much more from that. That it's just worth it. So like, if they do take that 2, even 3 year hiatus, one, I have more than enough games in backlog to keep me busy. I got emulators on deck to keep me busy. I am fine. We have indie developers now that are still gonna be pushing out shit, so I will find some gems. So it's like, I'm not even worried about it no more.
Steam.
I'm not even worried. And I got my PC now, and I have access to the Game Pass, to Steam, to all of these other things. It's like, bro, I don't give a fuck no more.
Steam so bad. I used to destroy Steam, bro. I can't tell you, bro. You know you know how much mods on Skyrim that exist?
Too much.
You can't get them.
Too much.
You can't get them. I didn't play them. I played them all. I played them all. I have
Skyrim now, and I haven't played it yet because I'm like
too late.
I go wait. I go wait because I want.
If you never played Skyrim before.
I never played it before. Never.
Let me tell you something. Okay. First thing you need to do. Let me tell you something, bro.
No way.
First thing you need to do. No, hold on. Let me tell you. The first thing you need to do is, before you even play that, before you even turn that on, is go into the mods. You niggas 2021.
No way.
I don't even know.
Don't start with the mods.
Listen.
Don't start with the mods.
You need graphic mods.
Okay, graphic mods maybe. You don't need it, but it's gonna make it so much sexier. It's gonna make it sexier.
He need graphic mods. He need it. If he going in now, he need it. Trust me, he absolutely need it.
I think so. It's gonna be nice.
I wait until I
bro,
play.
Listen to me, bro.
Fallout,
I mean, if you coming from a gamer, I guess.
Fallout 3 and 4 New Vegas, I finish in them, then I can touch Skyrim because I'm like,
boy,
my friend put me on the site way to go to download the mods for that.
You can put hours in Skyrim. You can put hours in there.
I know.
I think to this day, I can't. I think Kingdom Hearts is the only game I clock more hours in than Skyrim. To be honest, I don't think any other game has surpassed Skyrim as far as hours fucking played for me.
I can tell you what surpassed my Kingdom Hearts hours, but it's the only game that surpassed my Kingdom Hearts hours. But I think you're all tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, but FromSoft don't pay us. We don't have a FromSoft sponsorship, so let's leave them for now. They get enough advertisement.
They got a hold on my life.
I will say, I think Warframe on PS4 had the most hours out of me.
Yeah,
because I remember.
But that's a good game, though. That's a good game.
I remember playing that for like days, like from I get up.
I could agree.
I get up, cook breakfast, play Warframe. And when I look out the window again, it's nighttime. I'm like, Jesus.
Warframe.
I've had sessions like that. I'd be like, Jesus Lord. Lol. I've been playing this long. Shit.
Lol.
All you know is Warframe.
Yep. Again, when crossplay comes back, I'll be streaming that for sure. When cross save comes back, I'll be right back on that. I'd be like, really? I get all my shit back from PS4? Oh shit. Come on. Let's go.
So
I ain't even waste no time.
So I mean, I like where we took the conversation. We a question I was going to come with, but I guess we kind of just segued into it, was what would we hope to see in the future. So we already talked about the concept of these content creation groups, these houses of content creators. What else do you think could possibly benefit the industry in the long run? Like, what moves do you think could be made realistically? Because if we just say, oh, we'll make better games or something like that, like it's it goes without saying, but what actionable things could be done right now to improve the state of gaming?
I would say the way content creators are, like content creators like myself and you guys who stream and do stuff like that, I would say gaming companies reaching out to them to let them like help promote like their games. You know, like make like I know they have people who beta test games, like give them some special access to be able to beta test. Like they do it to some of them, but they could do it to a lot more of them, and then make it, you know, give them some incentives on it. You know what I'm saying?
Because boy, let me tell you, I'm sorry, but I have to get this off my chest. If the Marvel Avengers games took all of the feedback that they got from their beta tests, if they read my review of their beta test, that shit never would have come out. If they read my full review of that beta, that game never would have come out. Because I tell them about their ass from the jump. I told them they was going to fail from the jump. I told them they were going to lose faith of hundreds of their thousands of their fans from the jump, from that beta test alone.
And Square still brought it out.
Still.
And they didn't give a fuck.
Still.
But here's the fucked up thing. Here's the fucked up part.
Because they know people was to buy it.
Guardians of the Galaxy is better than that game.
Yeah. Because they didn't try to monetize it. They literally just made a single player experience. That's harder to monetize. So they had to focus on the mechanics and shit to make it work. Since they had this free to play. Boy, when I hear free to play now, I just want to slap them. When I hear free to play, I just want to slap someone. I could be honest.
When I hear free to play, I just get scared. I
get upset. I don't get scared. I get upset.
I just get scared. I just be like, get free to play.
I get upset.
Like,
because it's
sometimes
like, bro.
People will be recommending me games. They'll be like, boy, you should play this game. It's solid. And they got this and they got that and they got all these things.
Oh, how much it is?
Yeah. And then, free to play too. They're like,
red flag. Red
sorry,
flag.
dog.
Red flag.
Red flag.
I good.
Red flag. Red flag.
Good.
It just.
You be like,
salmon fly, gay. Salmon fly. Salmon fly.
Good enough. Close enough.
Like, bruh. As soon as they say free to play, I'd be like, oh, no, dog. I straight.
So you saying having the major companies collaborate more with the content creators. With the content creators. I could see that definitely benefiting them more. They definitely need to I don't know exactly what part of the process needs to be improved, but that feedback process for the beta. Listen to me, I was about to say for the betas. I hate saying that online. For the beta testers. That kind of, if they improve that feedback and actually I don't know, I feel that they do get a lot of the feedback that they need, but they just don't. I don't know if they adhere to it enough, or if they take it to heart, or if they read through some of them and not all of them. If they just push through, I don't know what that back end process is. I can't speak to that, but I feel like that feedback process is very much in need of improvement, because if it was working, Marvel's Avengers would have never happened. I'm telling you.
That's only for certain companies, because you have companies that listen to their fan base, and listen to their feedback,
for sure,
and they make their improvements.
But for the ones that don't,
blatantly ignore them. Like they exist. They blatantly ignore everything that these niggas is saying, and they do whatever the fuck they want to do.
EA.
And the sad part about it is they still make money off
EA.
it, so they can keep doing it.
EA. I think that has to go hand in hand with that point that El made earlier on about there being like a deadline or something. So maybe they actually do want to fix some of the things that they have to fix.
True.
But they just never get to, because they be like, oh, well, this game has to be out by tomorrow.
And that's where you ain't believe, and that's where a lot of games branch off from, because they want to do they fucking game, but these niggas in the air talking a whole lot of shit. So that's like, babe, let's do our own shit. You see what I'm
Isn't
saying?
that exactly how Back for Blood happened?
Is it?
Yes, exactly.
Back
Yep,
for
that no,
Blood came from the Left 4
that's
Dead
exactly
developers.
how.
That's literally
Yeah,
how Back
yeah,
for Blood
bro.
happened. The
Yeah, yeah,
developers
yeah.
was tired of. I
What you
think,
mean?
in a
It's
sense,
all
I
time.
could, I
Yeah.
could. Let me know in the comments below if I'm fucking up any part of this story. But from my recollection, the devs were tired of, I guess, waiting or being stifled or being held back. So they left the studio. They
Yeah.
abandoned the IP, but they still had the core assets. They still had the development and
Yeah.
the assets for
They
the game,
own the
so they
shit
could
at the end
create
of the
it.
day.
So they just
Yeah.
made what they knew niggas wanted. That's how Back for Blood happened. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But look at what happened. Niggas love it. Niggas absolutely love it. Because it's more of what they genuinely want. Because the devs know what it is that they want. The devs listen.
And that's what I saying, bro. And that's why another reason why I love indie so, bro. Like, you propose an indie game to me, you be like, oh, baby, you should play this game. It's the indie game I sold. Let me see
You
what
know
it
what's
about.
it's another perfect example of a person, like, aside from Kojima,
Aside,
because
don't bring up
I always
Kojima no
aside.
more, but
Yeah,
No, I know,
why
no.
you
But
even
I
staying on that,
but
bro?
I'll bring up another someone else from Konami too. The guy who made Castlevania, he
Mm-hmm.
made that other game. What's the name with the gal? Oh Jesus.
Bayonetta?
No,
Not Bayonetta.
it's a castle.
That was Devil May
It's a
Cry.
Metroidvania type game. It's a
Mm.
Metroidvania type game. Hold on. What a name! It name. What a name? Bloodstain Ritual of the Night. That's what it is.
I hear about it, but I ain't
Oh
play
no,
that.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
I was that on the PS Vita too?
I think it's also on Vita, but I
I
think
think
so.
I
I,
might have played that on the
I know
Vita.
it's on. I know it's on Switch for
I
sure.
think
But
I think I might have played it on the
he made
Vita.
Bloodstain. He made Bloodstain, and when it came out, there was some issues with it, right? And because he made it himself, he left Konami, and because there was some issues with it, so he himself went. He's like, all right, cool. I fixed everything. He's like, I don't want people tarnishing my name or whatever because I am the creator of Castlevania, for Christ's sakes. Like, he had like a whole video, like, he was sitting down drinking the fucking wine out the glass, and he break it like how Dracula did in the game. And I was like I made Castlevania, for Christ's sakes, this Japanese dude, and he's like, don't worry, we fixed it. So he enhanced the graphics. He made it he made it look better. He made it play better. And I was like, and everyone was like, this is exactly what we wanted. And it was solid. It was fucking solid. So I think more of that is what we need. So if and I think the only thing this does is add argument that the whole
See, I
developers
feel like the reason
companies could work.
most of these problems, so I guess what we call it, don't get fixed is because it's so much different fucking complaints. Like, how do we keep up with all this shit? Like, if we tweak one shit, that might fuck up something else. You know what I mean? They gotta worry about their game at the end of the day. So that might be a reason why some of this shit getting ignored, because you gotta work with what you got, and that's what they got. You know what I mean? You don't know what it take to fucking fix the template, or when they ride into the village, they want it rendered immediately. You know what I mean? That might take away from when you fucking, and it's crazy, dog. So I don't know. I try to give credit where due. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to, because I know these niggas is hard at work providing this shit for us as consumers. So I trying to, they trying to see it from their point of view. But you know what I mean? Only so much. That's another reason why I love indie so much. Because only so much you could do under what you got. And for them people who be like, who break off and be like, all right, fuck this shit, nigga. I have to put this shit out to the world because I know they can love this. And I get out and we love it. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't know where I land, but this my shit. So, I know when I come down yeah, bro. When it comes down to it, I'm disappointed in the industry, but at the same time, I love it. So I stand at a weird bias.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are in a love hate relationship with the gaming industry
That's
now.
what it is. That's exactly what it
Because
is.
like we
It's a love hate
and,
relationship.
and I would say it's more so us hardcore gamers who grew up with like Nintendo and saw what games came from. We was there to see where it came from, and now to see what it is now, it's like
It's been
Mm-hmm.
bastardized.
yeah, and
Yeah.
no one else is gonna see it.
I fully agree with that, bro. It he
None of
right
the
he right though,
none
man.
of
He
none
right
of the
though.
other none of the other new
But
new
at
up
the
and comers
same
are gonna see
time,
it because
and it's
they
like
don't know where
so
it came
many people try
from.
to fill that father figure. Like, let me take this in. Let me take this in and don't work it out and some other thing. Let me take you know it's crazy. But at the end of the day, you still love this shit. And sad to say, I can keep paying my fucking money for it because I love the shit, dog. So
Mm.
even
Mm.
though I haven't got I ain't fully satisfied with it, it is what it is. The world works how it works. You know what I mean? I mean, and I can do about that.
Yeah,
So
let's just hope that the games of the future don't continue to screw us over like they've been
Hey,
doing the past couple of
we
years.
can only
shit.
You know what I'm saying?
we can only hope though. We
Oh
can
Yeah.
no,
only hope.
I ain't hoping, but when I start making some money, I could. Really, when I start making some
Okay,
money, I could start supporting some projects that I wanna
we can make
actively.
things happen.
I wanna
I feel
actively
you,
push for this shit to
and
happen.
I fuck
So,
with it.
so,
I fuck with it.
so that being said, final words going into everything that we've talked about, covering all that we've talked about from the past in gaming to the present and the potential future. What are your final thoughts on the evolution of gaming? Eddie, I guess we could start with you. What are your final thoughts on the evolution of gaming? You could comment
Um,
on any part of it, past, present, future.
I I miss games. I still love video games. I miss what games used to be, and I understand that things evolve with time. I just want that when they evolve, I want them to evolve for the better, not for the worse. And I want more people to like have some respect in their art and not just sell out because they trying to make some money or because they feel like they under a big developer they could make some money or whatever. Because I think indie developers have proven that as long as the product is good, you don't need to be under a big developer. You just need to make something that someone can feel is wholesome or enjoys or is an enjoyable experience. Because the thing about video games is, as like you had said a long time ago, why you like video games so much. The thing with video games, it's literally a medium that you actually control. It's like for a few
Mm-hmm.
minutes or hours out of your day, you are taken from the world you are in into a completely different one. And no matter how real it
Mm-hmm.
looks like ours or how fantastical it may look, it's it's another area that you're going in, and everything you experience has to make you feel something. And it you have to make sure that that when you make a game to those specifications, the game has to be able to make you feel something. If it doesn't, and if anything ruins that experience, it's not going to work.
Nope.
So my own thing is to just say to developers of video games, just make sure that you continue to keep trying to give us those experiences and make sure that everything works. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Crash, what you got? Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. That's a hard follow up from my dog. What I could say is, listen, I love the direction everything going in. I love it. What I don't like is repetition, and I don't like paying for the same thing over and over again. Like, if you can make a game or a franchise, build on it, build, keep building. Don't give me the same thing in a different format or a different form factor. You see what I'm saying? Like that ain't like I been doing this shit. Like all of us. Like we used to this shit. We've been gaming all this fucking time. We didn't seen it all. Give me something new. And that's what I like to see. And sad to see, a lot of indie games been giving that to me. Like that's something new. Cause like, you know, they could branch off. They could make the mainstream could do what they know could sell. But if you give it to these indie gamers, they could do what they want to do, and they can experiment. Like give that experimentation some more spotlight. That's what I think it is. That's what I think we need. Experiment some more. Just fucking, give these people the freedom to do what the fuck they gotta do. And if it don't work out, it don't work. If it work out, then you all make some fucking money. You see what I said? So, summing it up, I say let the people experiment and do what they gotta do because it yields some good results from what I see and from what I experience. Because I love every genre. There's some I favor more than others, but like everybody else. But yeah, give these people the freedom, dog, and let them do what they want to do because it opened more lanes and more avenues for people, and even people who ain't even like was never gamers before might get involved because this shit appeal to them. So yeah, like I mean, I satisfied because I got to work with what I got, but at the same time, I know they could be better.
Okay. All right. Solid. For me, final thoughts. I just want to, I guess, to kind of summarize my stance on the evolution of gaming. My feelings about the gaming industry, they have shifted. I'm not as optimistic as I once was with the gaming industry, but I still have hope for it.
I agree with you.
One thing that I feel is of utmost importance to remember here in this industry and any industry, in the world that we live in, capitalism reigns. In the world that we're living in right now, capitalism reigns, right? And oftentimes we hope for ideals, we hope for special or specific situations that would be ideal or preferable to others that just aren't as outright profitable. So remembering that at the end of the day, these larger companies don't represent the gaming industry. Now, they once did. The companies that we've established as AAA companies now were originally the innovators or originally the mass producers of excellent quality gaming for years at a time. So when you think about what changed along the way, it wasn't the core demographic of these creators. It was the management and it was capitalism finally making its way to an untapped industry. So gaming was relatively untapped for years on end. Gaming was relatively niche. It was a very specific genre of entertainment that wasn't even like, if you think about like skateboarding in the 80s going to the 90s, it was big in the skating community, but on the world stage it's just like, okay, that's a cool little hobby you got, Jump forward 10 years, and skating is one of the premier events at the X Games. It's a lucrative profession if you go professional with it, if you're good enough. So, and then all of the endorsements and everything started coming in, and then you have sponsorships and all of these things. So capitalism found that industry and then found a way to monetize it. Now, capitalism coming into gaming over this past decade, I would say capitalism came heavily into gaming because they recognize how much money there is to be made here. With capitalism coming into gaming now, the dynamics of everything changes. So everything that you do has to take into account that capitalism is present. All of these discussions that we have are centered on the results of capitalism purging or fully immersing itself into our loved industry. Because it was niche before, it was just us. It was just us and the devs. It was us and the creators. We had a direct link with the artists. The artists would give us what we wanted. If they made some garbage that we didn't like, chances are they wasn't making that shit again. And that's just what it was. But we're past that point now. So going forward, we have to not just look at things that would please us, but things that could actually benefit the developers and the consumers in a capitalist society. So that whole content creators house idea, that whole concept came from looking at content creators, the TikTokers, the YouTubers, making these houses, or grouping together and coming together to pool their resources so that they could create their own things without having to work under this umbrella. I don't have to go underneath Tasty. I don't have to go under BuzzFeed. I don't have to go under the Huffington Post. We could make our own brand. I could do my own shit. You could do your own shit. He could do his own shit. They could do their own shit. And then we could come together and collab. And when we pool our resources, we get enough eyes on us and attention on us, because that's the true currency. The true currency is attention. If you get that much attention on you, could get those eyes on you, then the money follows. That's how capitalism works in 2021, going into 2022. So if you could capitalize that attention, if you get one house, literally just one house started, and in the next 2 years they drop their first project, that project could be ass, and they would have some sponsors just off of the attention that they would get. Now, I doubt it'll be ass, because these people will be making something that they actually love. But I'm saying it's not gonna be on the level of a AAA title, but the notoriety that they would get from it, that mass appeal that they would get from it, the media attention that they would get from it would not just benefit them, but it would inspire others to do the same or do something similar or pursue something that could benefit them the same way it benefited the others. So at the end of the day, it's a fight against capitalism. So anarchy, let's go.
That's what he's saying.
Anarchy. I'm joking. Don't flag me. Don't flag me. Don't flag me. Don't flag me.
You don't want to start that war. You don't want. That's a war you do not want to start.
Hey, bro, I deal in crypto. I fight this war every day, dog. I fight this war every day. So I look. Don't listen to me. Do not. Anarchy is not the way unless it's necessary. Anarchy is not the way. Do anything else. To use every other means before trying that. Do not just jump straight. That's not plan A. That is not plan A. But
I don't even know how that works for developers.
Boy,
jeez,
anarchy for developers is them content houses. Anarchy for developers is all of them leaving, just making a bunch of indie content houses and just dropping indie projects. Like, ooh, and don't let them have staggered releases. Don't let them collaborate and say, we got quarter one, y'all got quarter two, y'all got quarter three.
Ooh.
Look, man, devs, look. Your boy I got bars, okay? Like, let's get y'all away. Like, I trying to get you. Look, your man ain't treating you right, dog. Look, come here. Let me. Look, man. Look, man. Look.
This ain't no freestyle, bro. Freestyle.
He ain't treating y'all right over there. He ain't treating y'all right over there, boy. He ain't treating y'all right over there, boy. Let me show y'all how y'all deserve to be treated.
You know what? Someone who needs to do that. Someone who have a fuck ton of money, who could just throw away money and not even bat an eye. And they'd be like, they build this whole building. Like, I have this whole building. I don't know what I can use with it. Oh, I know. Calls up all the developers. Like, hey,
I want to sponsor y'all.
I can give y'all this house. Y'all can have it. I'll pay y'all the rent and all the stuff. Y'all just put all y'all tools and things in there. Y'all just
give them 2 years. Give them 2 years.
I just listen, and because I buy it for y'all, and because I put
Who
y'all
that is,
on,
man? Who Daddy Warbox is?
I want 50. I don't know. I just saying it'd be someone.
Boy, I could have swear you was about to give us a name.
Bro,
I could have swear you was about to give us a name.
You know what would be?
You was setting that up so nice.
Elon Musk.
Elon ain't gonna do it.
Yeah,
he could. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. Elon ain't into the game inside like that. He ain't really into the game inside like that.
Well, Zuckerberg then.
Fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
I don't want him touching nothing I love, boy. I don't want Zuckerberg touching nothing I love. Boy.
Man, listen, call him whatever you want, but you'll never be able to call him broke.
No, yeah, I could call him everything else though. I could call him a lot of other things. Not broke though. Not broke.
Every other word in the book, bro.
He winning capitalism for sure. He winning capitalism for sure. But boy,
think about it.
I just want one.
You think about it.
Facebook now owns
just right
Instagram,
there. Just right there.
WhatsApp. What else? Instagram, WhatsApp. What else I have here?
Instagram, WhatsApp,
Let me
Messenger,
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question right quick, right? What would you rather be rich or famous for doing? This fucking bullshit that this nigga doing is basically spying on everybody's life in the world, or something that you love. You trying to tell me, would you rather be rich? Would you rather be Elon Musk rich? Or would you rather be you rich?
I think a lot of people Elon Musk is a different guy because
no, fuck a lot of people. I'm asking you.
Yeah, I know me. I'd rather be rich doing what I like.
Yeah, you personally. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think anyone would pick something else. I think anyone would pick what I love to be rich.
Yeah.
I ain't saying something else. I'm saying what this nigga doing. You see what I'm saying? It ain't nothing else. It's what he do.
We don't know if that's something that he's actually passionate about.
Yeah.
If he is passionate about it,
I mean, shit.
It might be because
I guess.
It's like he probably wants to make a real live version of the world of Ready Player One.
But
for those of you here,
he fucking crazy. You know? He's crazy. That's crazy. He's crazy.
I don't want him to touch it.
I just don't want him to touch it. I just don't want him to touch it. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro.
So I can tell you,
it's not crazy.
I can tell you from the,
it is.
I can tell you from the strictly crypto aspect of it. Ready Player One is already being built. Not specifically Ready Player One, but that concept is already being built and fleshed out. In fact, y'all can hear me say this here first. And I wrote about this months ago, but. Specifically in crypto, because this is like my primary work, so I can relate a lot of things in tech to crypto. But this year in crypto, in 2021, all of the hype, all of the rage was about NFTs. Everyone heard about it, barely anyone understood what the fuck it was. It doesn't matter at this point because I'm not focusing on NFTs right now, so I'm not going to go into explaining that. If you want to explain it, hit me up on my social. But the same way NFTs were hype this year, I'm telling you this now, and I want y'all to hit me up when it comes to fruition. 2022 is going to be the year of gaming in crypto. 2022 is going to be the year of gaming in crypto, and people figuring out that a lot of these gaming projects in the crypto space are developing what's called GameFi. It's gaming finance, where it's not play to win, but it's play to earn. So in playing the game, you can earn some of these crypto or earn actual money, because this crypto you can convert to Bitcoin or convert to US dollars or Bahamian dollars or whatever your currency is. So
that's pretty.
These things are already, they've been being developed for years now, but a lot of the major ones are starting to reach the end of their like alpha cycles. So they're getting ready for those official releases now. So 2022, you're going to see a large influx of GameFi. Listen for that word specifically, GameFi. In the next 3 to 4 months, you will hear GameFi come up a lot. Now,
I can write that down.
that's some alpha. That's some alpha for y'all. Let me know in the comments if you agree, if you know about this shit. We could talk about that someplace else in my crypto stuff. I do that separately. But with that being said, GameFi, gaming in crypto, and metaverse projects are going to dominate 2022. What Zuckerberg is doing right now and calling it metaverse is garbage. You want me to tell you why? No. Because
I do not respect the metaverse.
Gaming, and this is a little alpha for you all too. Gamers, you are more ready for crypto than anyone else on the planet. Gamers are more prepared for crypto than anyone else on the planet. I even wrote an article about this too. Gamers have been trained our entire lives to understand virtual worlds, virtual currency, interacting with other people in a digital space, creating an avatar and using that avatar to do different things. All of these things that are new concepts coming up in crypto now have already been things in video games. So when you think about like a metaverse or something like Ready Player One, gamers are already mentally braced for that.
Yeah.
So when you look, when a gamer looks at this shit that that Zuckerberg is putting out for Facebook's metaverse. When I look at that, I look at it and I'm like, bro, PlayStation Home was on the PS3 and it looked better than this. Like IMVU and Coke Music was doing this exact same thing from the fucking early 2000s. Habbo Hotel was jumping before y'all even thought about a metaverse. So this garbage that y'all putting out.
Habbo Hotel, Jesus Christ.
So look at all of the things I listed off just now, and us gamers are familiar with them. And when you look at them from over 10 years ago, and then you look at this shit that they're dropping for Facebook as the metaverse, it's just like, yeah, these niggas really ain't doing nothing major. Like, it's just you just making a 3D Avi and walking around a set sandbox. Like, okay, I can go to an MMO for that. Like, it's so gamers, I'm letting you know now, if you aren't involved in crypto is the future. I'm gonna let you know that now. But if you aren't involved in crypto, don't be apprehensive about it, because you're already prepped for it. You already have a leg up from anyone else just starting out. You already do. So just remember that. But yeah, man. Beat capitalism.
That's good to know.
Beat capitalism.
That's good information to know.
Beat capitalism.
This nigga started on crypto.
Beat capitalism. That's all.
Means
the whole reason I get in crypto was to try figure out how to beat capitalism.
I'm surprised he was able to stop himself. To be honest, because
I could be a rogue in the metaverse. I could be thieving people money.
All right.
I always pick mage. I always pick a mage class. Every time. Every time. It's just it's just I ain't get into that, but whatever, if it's an RPG, know that I'm gonna be a mage. Know that.
That's true. You right. You know what I going with? Proof.
Chopper. The chopper.
You know that.
Nigga say he say you chop me, I chop you harder.
First.
You chop me, I chop you harder.
That's how it go, bro. That's how the thing go.
But hey,
oh fuck! I was never scared.
But hey, I think this was I think we covered a lot more than I even expected, honestly. With this discussion tonight, this is a great discussion. I think we uncovered a lot. I really feel like we have a gem with that content creator house idea. I think we onto something there, devs. If y'all listening, like, hey, if you agree with us, if you like that idea, let us know your thoughts on anything that we talked about in the comments down below. If you agree that the content house thing could possibly be a good idea, and if you do, if you're connected to a developer, share the video. They don't even have to watch the whole vibe. I'd like them to watch the whole vibe, but they don't have to watch the whole vibe. Just show them that specific part and see how they react to it, because I would love to see this as a social experiment. I'd love to see this actually play out with just one house with maybe 10-20 developers, 10 to 15. I don't want to overcrowd it, but
yeah, that's a lot.
It is. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. We got more heat coming on the way for y'all. Thank you, Magaso, for once again coming through, blessing the boys. We still got to come up with our acronym for the stream team. I want that acronym so bad. I want that acronym so bad. I want that because I really feel like we had one, but niggas already using that, so I let it dead. But
niggas using everything, but they got everything covered.
But nonetheless,
everything.
Thanks again for coming through. Let our audience know where they could find you, man.
You can find me right here on YouTube under youtube.com/Magaso242. You can also find me on TikTok under Magaso242. Also, if you want to donate to me, you can do that on kofi.com/Magaso. And check out my stream on YouTube. A lot of people keep asking me why I ain't on Twitch, but I'm like, YouTube. So check me out right here on YouTube. I do my YouTube streams. And that's it. I still have fighting the good fight for behemoths to get monetized properly. Always. So we doing that thing. So that's where all you can find me. I also have a page on Facebook, Magaso. Facebook.com/Magaso Games. And that's pretty much it. You can find me all them places.
All right. We got them links also down below in the description. So make sure follow Magaso, subscribe to the channel. He got some fire content. Like we mentioned earlier. I think one of my favorites from you actually was your cover of Hellblade. I think that was one of my favorites, because that was
it was something that I really wanted to do. I really wanted to do that.
I could tell. You could tell. You could definitely tell.
Because mental health isn't taken seriously anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree.
It's definitely not taken seriously here. So
you know what? I feel like it ain't taken seriously too in males. You know what I mean? Like male.
Yep.
Hashtag male mental health awareness. You see what I said? Because it's a thing, bro. Yeah, bro. It's a real thing.
And getting to interview with all those people, like the therapist who I see, and the other guy who's a therapist too, a psychiatrist. I'm actually getting to sit and speak with them, and them finding out that there's a video game that shows this in its truest form, and and it makes me appreciate the game more, especially after watching the behind the scenes of how they made the game, how they actually spoke with people who had these problems, and I was like, this is great. This is so great. And just, I'm not going to give away anything that's in the video. If you all want to watch the video,
check it out.
You can link it
check it out. We'll link that
down. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's a very good. It was very good. And I'm glad I did it.
Must watch.
I had to do it.
Must watch. But definitely hit up Magaso's channel, hit up BEY Entertainment channel, and make sure to hit up our sponsor as well. One of the reasons for this collab was our sponsor GameHeads. The guys have our December events going on. What's the I think we have we have something. It's like a watch party, I think, the movie.
Yeah, I think y'all doing a watch. We supposed to be doing a watch party for I can't remember what it is. A Christmas story.
It's somewhere in the Discord. I can
it's somewhere in there.
Get in the Discords too. The Discord's important. That's where you can keep all the updates. All of that stuff we have linked below. But we can wrap this up here. Thank you again for coming through for another episode of Boy Listen. We could have more content like this coming out, man. I love these discussions. I love these ideas. I love sitting down, going over what could happen, what might happen. Because I feel like these conversations are what would lead to those kinds of changes. Like someone could hear this and that could spark another idea that could possibly work. And then someone start implementing it. So I feel like these are the kind of conversations that are necessary for us to actively create the gaming industry that we want to see again. Because it feels like it's out of our hands, but I feel like there's ways for us to take that power back.
Maybe not eight. Maybe it ain't.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. You know, maybe we just need to. Maybe we just need we need one quick montage. We need one training montage and come back. Come back again.
Yeah. Come back stronger.
But hey, we out, folks. So BYC to the next podcast, and if you can't make it, CYC. We gone, folks. Links.
I still fucking love that shit.